It's interesting. My ears are ringing now.
I'm kind of buzzy, sorry.
It was interesting how you were explaining how you could see the goddesses when they came to you. I didn't have that. Never seen a goddess or could really picture one. What I really felt was the feelings of whenever the main one was Eris, when we were talking in a later podcast when she was describing you suggested a podcast
Rewilding with
yes,
Sabrina.
And I watched that and I'm like, I had no idea that goddess was awakened within me, and I knew the exact moment when I felt her, but I had no idea that I was working with a goddess. And so I didn't have that experience. I think your experience would have been cool. Like if I could have an experience like that, that would have been so neat. And you, I mean, we've talked that you've been envisioning goddesses and actually seeing them. I can't say I've had that experience.
She doesn't have
like sight. Would it be like sight?
Yeah.
So that would have been really cool to actually have that
I don't
experience.
think that you actually knew that you had any. Did you know that you had gifts?
I was unaware. I was in denial about it.
Okay.
Because when I was young, I loved to do tarot cards, play with them. It was a way to bond with my mom. And, all that stuff. It was just for fun. Like, she doesn't really think it's real. It's just for fun. And, I got a pendulum and I got, like, runes. And I was trying to make the pendulum work. And I'm like, this thing's stupid. Like, you hold it up and your hand is just subconsciously doing this. Because, like, I can think yes and it goes like this. And I can think no and it goes like this. And it's like, obviously I'm subtly moving it without realizing that's what I'm doing. And that's crazy. That's crazy. I didn't even know until like a few months ago. Somebody else picks one up and they're trying to get it to go. They're like, "Urgh." And I'm like, you just
hold it.
And then
I know.
And then I felt like, oh my gosh, like I was just gaslighting myself. Like that's so unfair. If I had a friend who was gorgeous and powerful and smart, I would not tell her, no, your ability, that's not real. It's just bullshit. I would be like, that's so cool.
So you thought that anybody who picked up a pendulum could make it move.
So I did too, because it happens with me, and that's why I became unreliable, because I could make my own answers.
Yeah, same. And that's because we're sensitive.
Yeah. I know. Where's the pendulum? I mean, we can all, we just pick it up and it just starts, it just starts spinning. Like, I don't have to, and I can yeah. Like, this hand is moving and this one is not. And you feel... But not everybody can pick up a pendulum and have it work. And that's when I'm just going to say, my girlfriend, the kid could not pick up a pendulum and make it move. But the more she picks it up, the more she concentrates, the more she opens up to spirituality. Now the thing is swinging, So you had gifts from childhood and you didn't realize them until...
No, and when I was in high school, I kind of had this empath phase where I was like, I can literally feel your emotion, and I can, but it was a teenager's understanding. Yeah. And so I decided, that's not realistic. That's not real. Now that I'm an adult, it's kind of like, well, I'm influenced by people's emotions because not only can I read their body language, but I'm just very intuitive about it. Mm-hmm. And that's not strange. Like, right. It's not woo-woo. It's reality. Yeah, it's actually true.
I wish that people would realize, like, woo-woo, it's called woo-woo, but it's not woo-woo. Yeah. It's real. It's reality, Mm-hmm. Like...
And anybody can do it, and that's how you know it's reality, is because, like, all you have to do is just, like, start practicing. It's like a muscle or like a playing an instrument.
It's a muscle. It's a practice.
Wait, I'm gonna make it go crazy. That's crazy in my book.
So when my swings in an oblong, we'll see if we can do it.
There it goes?
Yeah.
Because you were thinking that?
That's my grandma's swing. Like, I know that my grandma is here when it swings in an oblong. she's always the one to show me her swing. But I never use the pendulum other than to just be like, look what I can do. Look at this, isn't it cool?
It's unreliable because if I say yes or no, or if I know the answer, I mean, obviously I'm going to, or if it's like personally tied to me, like I'm asking a personal question, whatever I want to happen, I can, influence my answers.
So I will say when I first awakened, I used the pendulum. Now, I've told this story a million times. I haven't been psychic my whole life. Like, maybe I have been and I just didn't realize it like you. But when I first awakened and I watched a video on how to communicate with your spirit guides, and somebody was using the pendulum, and it was like going and talking to her with this letterboard, I thought she was crazy. And then I took the necklace off that I had and I held it up, and that thing started spinning like right away. So that's how I learned how to do readings. Was like literally letter by letter on the word board. It would just spell it out letter by letter, and I would write it down. I would ask a question and it would spell it out and I would write it down. And then eventually it was like, oh, I could tell which letters it was going to go to because I could hear it in my mind. And then before it spelled it out, I could hear what word. It just like kept getting more intense and more intense, and then I could ask the question. I could instantly know what the answer was going to be. So pendulums do work in the beginning to sort of to wake you up and get certain information, but you also do have to be careful because in the beginning you're not fully integrated into the energetic systems of your team, right? So once you're fully integrated into the energetic systems of your team, they're there to protect you. But before it's sort of activated, they're always there and they're always looking out for you. But when your energy systems are open and you're not fully integrated into the safety and protection, you can get trickster energy, which I did get. I mean, my pendulum, the word board, it would spell out certain things and tell me crazy things. It convinced me my best friends were driving to North Dakota from Missouri. They were coming to visit me. They were at the national park driving around. Like, they just told me all of this stuff, even did a countdown from 10 all the way to 1 when they were going to pull in. So I did receive trickster energy in the beginning, and it did sort of like mess me up. How am I supposed to trust my team? But once you really get fully integrated with your team and you say, I only want to talk to my team. I only want to talk to my spirit guides. I only want to talk to my ancestors. I only talk to my grandma. And that's why a lot of people are scared of Ouija boards too. I was just watching Teresa Caputo on Dumb Blonde podcast, Jelly Roll's wife, and she was talking about the Ouija board and how she thinks it's bad no matter what. And I do not agree. I love Teresa. She's like my medium idol. But I do not agree with that. I do not believe that. I don't believe Ouija boards are evil. I think you have to Ouija board responsibly. You cannot go to a Ouija board and say, is there anyone here? Do they have any messages for me? You go to a Ouija board and you say, I want to talk to my team. Does my team have any messages for me? I want to talk to my grandma. Say her name, when she died, whatever. Be specific on who you want to talk to instead of just allowing anyone in, because that's how we get the trickster energy. That's how we get lies. That's how we get paranoia. That's how we get that, what is it that we used to call, people who got into the psychic stuff but got kind of a little... Like psychosis. Spiritual psychosis.
And I've actually had that.
You have experience with that.
So I'm actually both psychic and have had things that were not true in my brain.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you learn in like the second phase, where you're really in the dark. You really have to hermit yourself.
Yes.
And you go away and you look within. And that's when you learn what's the difference. What's the difference between my team, my people, something that's for me, and what's the difference? And then once you can know the difference, you can control. So, yeah, sorry. I just wanted to...
No, you have experience in all aspects of it. I think it's beautiful. Yeah. I think it's great. I think you're a perfect addition to this conversation.
Well, mine was Christian themed.
All of us.
All of us, yeah.
It was Christian themed, and it was traumatic.
Yeah.
But there were things about it that were like kernels of truth.
It's driving me nuts.
I know. Well, I'm glad you're working on it because I tried. I don't even know how it happened. So you're saying you're psychic?
Yes, she is psychic.
I think so.
Dude.
I think I have to accept it.
The first time I got a tarot reading from this girl, I was like, That is not tarot. That is psychicness. Because she kept saying, I feel like. I'm like, bitch, the cards don't say that. Cards don't say what you feel. And she was so dead on with everything. With me, with Sam. She read my daughter. Like, there's no way that this is just tarot, Erica. You're psychic. And she's like, yeah. Maybe. I think I'm coming to the realization that that's probably true. Yeah. Yeah, Erica.
I love it.
Draw one card. Let's see what it is. Let's see if it's a card that says I'm crazy. 6 of Cups. That's like, so the inner child. And, childhood dreams coming true. Full circle. Yeah, I guess I was psychic from childhood, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I think we all were. We were just programmed not to. We're all born this way. We're all born this way, and then we're programmed not to believe it. And I know you're sitting over there like, no, I want the same gifts that you guys have. Like, you have different gifts.
I am an extreme empath.
Yeah. And your intuition.
Very, very sensitive. So you were talking earlier about being empathic at a young age. Well, I was always the odd child. I was definitely the black sheep. I was too sensitive for my family. That I was the hugger. I felt everybody's emotions. I felt my parents' emotions. I felt their financial struggles. So I didn't want to buy clothes for myself because I didn't want to cause burdens to my family. I would just hug everybody. And when I would see people crying, I was crying, and I didn't know why, but I was crying for them. Sadness, always in movies, everything. And so as I grew up, I always felt like I was a perfect counselor for my friends because I was always understanding what they go through, and I would describe feelings that they may be feeling. They'd be talking about whatever's going on, and I'd be like, so you feel like this and this, and they're like, oh my God, yes. And I'm like, maybe I'd be the perfect counselor. I never really understood why I felt so deeply or could understand people's emotions. I didn't even know anything about being an empath. Like that kind of stuff wasn't talked about in my family.
Right.
It was always either going to heaven or hell,
Yeah.
And majority of the time I thought I was on the hell path,
Yeah.
So,
and you have lots of experiences with narcissists,
yes,
correct? Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is classic empath. Mm-hmm. Classic empath.
Yeah, they're like, ooh.
Oh, yeah. A victim that I can prey on.
All I'm trying to do is just love you and support you, but all they did was just want to, rip you apart.
And also, we've channeled many times before that the empath and the awakened people, we see the spirit and the soul of the human, and we fall in love with that. Mm-hmm. And we have to remember on the physical plane to fall in love with the physical human, the person that they're showing you, the actions that they're showing you, not their soul, because it's very confusing as an empath, as a psychic, as a woman, because it's all just natural gifts that us women have, to not fall in love with the soul. Yeah. And we always say that. I fell in love with the soul. Yeah. Fall in love with the human, because the human and the soul should be combined. Right? The soul and the human should be equally as good as each other. But you're always falling in love. I know, I can just see who they're supposed to be. I can just see the good person inside of them. I can just see, bitch, they're not showing you that. That's not who they are. That's who they're supposed to be, but that's not who they are. So a lot of us, again, when you're on this awakening path, you're going to awaken, and your partner is going to make you more miserable than ever if it is not for you. If the partner is not for you on this awakened path, they're going to you're not going to understand, all of a sudden one day, I just can't stand anything this person does. I'm seeing through all of the lies, all of the manipulation that I never saw before. And again, a lot of us are going to be in new relationships and new jobs. Lots of new relationships and new jobs and new housing. I keep saying new housing. So,
girl, I've been manifesting a house. Hopefully that comes.
Yeah. We all are going to be presented with opportunities to bless ourselves, to accept the blessings, and then it's up to us whether we take it based on how we feel about ourselves inside, if we are really worthy of it or not.